What's your opinion?
My opinion is that he's a very opinionated person. He's very out there, and he likes to. He's very curious, from what I could tell, and he is also big on history.
I thought the author was like what Reese said was out there too, and it's like I like how he always put like his points of views, like everyone's point of views and his points of view. So like it was like the white points of view, the black's points of view, and like his points of view, right? And like we said, he's very curious and everything, right? But it's nice how he's like having his open ideas and new ideas out there.
Tejawn, do you have anything?
I agree with what you guys said in that, like, he has his own opinion and he likes to let his opinion known to, like, everyone else.
Yeah.
And that, like, he actually knows, like, what he's saying.
Yeah.
And actually researches or, like, actually looks up what he's supposed to know and, like, what needs to be known by other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Daniela?
Yeah, like he seems to be so determined into like really knowing what happened. He like gathers information and like it through like a lot of textbooks, and he like really seems that he wants to like change everything. Like he kind of just like wants everyone to know like the truth.
Mm-hmm. So he seems like a very honest person. So talking about back to colonialism and racism. Sorry, I just wanted to insert that because I was really intrigued with that. So what are some examples of racism and stereotyping today that we have? So for me, I see it like Islam people are sort of taught, like we've processed in our minds that Islamic people or Muslim people are terrorists because of what they have been doing currently. But yeah, what else do you guys think? Yeah.
How people casually throw the N-word still, and it's actually serious and you're not allowed to say it, but like people just like throw their arms like hey, and they would say it and stuff. It's like, yeah.
In today's society, racism still is like out there, but it's like, why is it still here? Because like people should like really get into this mentality that like everyone is like equal.
Yeah.
And it's like in like America and like in the like southern states, you still have like cops or like different people stereotyping like different like races, like black people or like whatever, for like they are like gang members or like robbers or
Yeah.
And how like they say like, oh, Surrey's full of brown people and they eat curry and there's like a lot of gangsters and war, it's a bad place and stuff, and like
Yeah.
not true.
So like I agree, like stereotyping is still like one of the biggest things that make racism like so bad today, because then like you get labeled for something that one person does, and then like you get labeled and then this and that, and then like your whole race, and then they just like kind of make fun of it, throw it around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how is Canada a little bit, how does Canada differ with America when it comes to racial stereotypes and racism and colonialism? Do you have
Well, Canada is more multicultural, and they're open, like they're more like there's like different religions here, different cultures, different festivals, even down on the streets there's like Chinese New Year, Diwali, and like other festivals, and they're open, everyone can celebrate it and stuff, and
in Canada is like we have more multiculturalism here because like we're more open with it in that like we accept immigrants.
Yeah.
Unlike like America, whereas like most people get like deported or like
Yeah.
and it's like in Canada, I feel like they embrace multiculturalism rather than like in America.
So, okay, going back.
And like for example, like our school, we're really open to the international exchange program and everything. So they come here and they learn stuff. And like sometimes when I even like talk to them and stuff, they're like, yeah, I really like it here. Everyone's open and stuff. And like even if you don't know English, like everyone's accepting. Like we're like open and everything.
Yeah. Daniela?
Yeah, so like I agree with like Canada being so diverse and having so much different cultures. You can't just like accept and learn to like accept different cultures, different ways of living. And like in America, like they take so much pride into being Americans. They're like so patriotic and
Yeah.
just like America, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like they're not open to anything. They're kind of just like closed up in their own little world.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I agree with all of you guys. I think that Canada is a little bit more diverse, and like Burn Creek alone, it's so diverse and so multicultural, and it's so refreshing to see two like groups of people who normally would be in a fight on their own country, but two groups of people who are talking and getting along here in Canada in this school. It's very eye-opening, and I agree with Daniela in saying that America is so patriotic. They stick to what they really believe in, and they believe that America is like the great race. I don't know what they believe. Yeah. So, what are ways that we can prevent racism? Like little, it doesn't have to be big, but like little ways to prevent racism.
To prevent it, like if someone was like saying like something was not true about someone else's culture, just like step in and say, hey, that's not true, don't say that, I don't like it and stuff. Like just saying little things and saying stop and I don't like that, they should stop and stuff. So that could stop racism, and saying that's not true and everything.
To really stop racism, people should accept other cultures and like get to know other cultures before they stereotype like what they really do.
Okay, I just realized I was wearing a United States shirt. I was just like, I just realized I was okay.
Wait, I realized.
How ironic. Okay, well she pointed out, but I really just realized. Okay.
Yeah, so then like I agree with what they said. We kind of just like have to like accept it, like not really stereotype anybody, not like discriminate anybody because of what their race is. And,
Yeah. So does anybody else have any opinions on anything at all? Anything? On your notes? Do you have anything on your notes? Anything interesting we could talk about? Oh yeah, we could talk about the movie. So Daniela, what did you think of the movie?
it's really eye-opening because then like you can kind of get a view of what really happened back then and how bad slavery was and how badly they treated the people.
Yeah. Tejawn?
I think I agree with what Daniela said. Like the movie was like really eye-opening, but the movie was also like depressing in the sense that like you realized like how these people were like treated back in that time with like no respect, or like they had like no opinion on what happened to them, or like how they would live their lives. They were just like enslaved for like all their lives, and like the children would never be able to like live a normal life.
Well, this is my second time watching 12 Years a Slave, and like watching it over again, it like I found new stuff again and more eye-opening stuff, and like it's like really depressing, like how like even like some kids grew up in slavery and how people were like stolen, and like they're like, oh, they are missing and they're gone, but they're actually like somewhere else and they're doing slave work, and like they have to lie or they'll get like hanged, beaten up, killed, like tortured, and like how kids like they grew up in this and they don't even know how the real world is, and they dream about something more, but they don't get that. And like every single second, it's like torture, and especially how like for 12 years he was a slave, and every single like he kept like thinking over and over again how like escape, and he tried, and he couldn't trust anyone.
So can you give us examples of those things that you were talking about? What kind of things did you find in the movie the second time around you were watching it?
Well, like the second time, it's like, oh well, I don't remember that part, and then for example,
Maybe something significant you found in a scene, anything.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
There's so much scenes. What was like eye-opening, and like you have to carefully analyze it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, better get back to me.
Okay, I'll get back to you. Here. So in my opinion, the movie was very graphic. There were so many scenes that I had to look away because I couldn't handle it. And I like how it was graphic because it really shows the truth of what was really happening and what really happened during that time. And I think that it is a good representation of what a life as a slave was. So, although I wouldn't know. So yeah. Anything else you guys found interesting? In the movie, colonialism, anything?
Okay, so like unlike the lies my teacher told me, like 12 years a slave was really like it stated the truth. It like didn't sugarcoat it or anything. It kind of just like went out, said the truth, and like they kind of like they didn't like make it go around and make like white people seem more superior than black people. So
Yeah. Tejawn, anything interesting?
The movie itself was like, while being like really depressing and really graphic, it really like demonstrates like the truth of like what it really was. And like if it didn't really do this, no one would really take it like that seriously. In that sense.
And the movie like said the truth, and even I feel like today, like people like even if we're like we are all equal and stuff, right? But sometimes I feel like today in like society and business and company and stuff, and like agencies and everything, like they still think white people are superior and pride. So it's like we're still, I think we're like we're still working over the years for everyone to be equal, but right now I feel like it's still like kind of happening there.
Okay. So we're a little bit over 20 minutes, but so okay, we'll just summarize what our thoughts were on colonialism or in slavery or racism or anything that we really feel passionately about. Let's just summarize that. Okay, we'll go to the Danielle question.
okay, so I feel like all of this, like all the topics we talk about, like ties in. And, like, without like one, it would like the other. It wouldn't lead to another thing, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that it all ties into like each, because like the lies my teacher told me really told you that like in America they don't really tell you the truth in like school, and like in 12 Years a Slave it actually like shows you the full truth and like show you how it really happened.
And I agree with everyone how it ties in, because like for my lies my teacher told me, they're saying the truth, and it's like the author's own like his opinions, and he wants to share his opinions with everyone and let them see the truth. And I like 12 Years a Slave was all truth, like everything was truth, and like how Danielle said before, like how it wasn't sugar coated. So like all of this was like connected, and like how like all the truth and opinions were out.
So it is all connected, not only in the past, but there's also right now in the present, there's still a lot of factors that impact us, from colonialism, racism, and slavery, and yeah, I think that this helps educate us a little bit further into what the topics are really about. So.